What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. I'm back. Prediction videos. This one's a bit overdue, but I've been very busy lately, especially with the holiday season this past week. And other than the holiday season, it's been just very busy. And other than that, I'm back. Got a prediction video, long overdue. Juan Manuel Lopez versus Bernabe Concepcion. And check out this shirt. I got Sugar Ray Robinson shirt right here. That Sugar Ray Robinson shirt. Actually, I'm wearing trunks right now. Haven't been boxing, but I'm just wearing trunks. That's why you can kind of see my leg exposed there, and my leg's kind of up. But yeah, anyway. So we have Juan Manuel Lopez versus Bernabe Concepcion for the WBO Featherweight Championship on July the 10th. Very interesting fight, because Juan Manuel Lopez, a lot of people thought Bob Arum was setting him up for a big fight in the summer against Yuriorkis Gamboa, but unfortunately the fight isn't happening this summer. Maybe next year, if the fight is built up, a lot of anticipation is built up for this fight, then we could see it next year, maybe year after. But for fights such as these, you have to build up a lot of anticipation, and really you have to have these guys in some good fights. Maybe get Gamboa to unify, get Lopez to unify, and you got a big fight, and especially in the featherweight division, because there's a lot of talent in the featherweight division. But the first man that stands in the way for Juan Manuel Lopez is Bernabe Concepcion, and for Gamboa, it's Elio Rojas. But more importantly, the fight tomorrow night, Lopez versus Concepcion. Lopez has shown in recent fights that he's more than a puncher. He has very good boxing ability, and in this fight, he doesn't want to get into a slugfest with Concepcion. What Lopez needs to do is Lopez needs to box in this fight, but not necessarily just box. I think that brawling, or excuse me, not necessarily brawling, because that's what Bernabe likes to do. I think in this fight we should see a little bit more boxing and getting rounds in this fight against Concepcion. But at the same time, I think it makes more of a statement if he can knock out Concepcion. I think it makes more of a statement if he knocks him out than if he does outbox him, because nobody's ever knocked out Concepcion. But I believe in his last fight against Mario Santiago, I believe he got hurt in that fight. So anyway, Lopez in this fight needs to box a lot more, and maybe get some rounds in and probably play it safe. But in this fight, we also need to see Lopez throw some shots to the body, because Concepcion does not like shots to the body. I think what would be effective for him is hooks to the body, some shots up top, and on top of that, sometimes I think that the defense of Concepcion is a bit suspect. He does get hit with a lot of shots, specifically left hands that go through his guard. Shots get through the guard, and also if he moves quite a bit, I think a lot of movement and a lot of power shots up top and a lot of power shots to the body should win this fight. And for Concepcion in this fight, Concepcion needs to cut off the ring, and somebody's honking outside my house, but somebody needs to. I think Concepcion, and that threw me off. I think that Concepcion needs to go to the body. He needs to cut off the ring, and he needs to pretty much slug. Make the fight a slugfest against Lopez. I think if he could counter Lopez very well, if he could counter and he could hurt Lopez, we could see the slugfest that a lot of people want to see in boxing matches. I think we could see a slugfest if Concepcion can, or Concepcion, I think it's Concepcion, but I don't know. But if Concepcion could counter right being a specific shot, straight right hand, and just simply brawling and fighting Lopez, because in order to win a boxing match for a fighter, you have to make the boxer fight. And Concepcion wants to fight in this. I mean, he wants this to be a fight. He doesn't want it to be a boxing match against Juan Manuel Lopez, a fighter who could actually punch and box. So there's interchangeability within that style. And me, I don't go by what I read in the forums. Never have, and never will. I'm just gonna go with my opinion on this fight. And a lot of people have different opinions on this fight. To be honest, and me personally, in this fight, I do like the interchangeability of the style of Juan Manuel Lopez. I like that. I like how he can box, and I like how he can fight as well. And not only that but he does show a lot of heart when he fights. Concepcion brings a lot of heart, and he likes to fight. And that's so. And I guess with these contrasts of styles, with these styles that are pretty much squaring up one-on-one against each other, it makes way for a very interesting fight, because we don't know if Lopez is going to come in and bomb him out. We don't know if he's going to box against him. And that's what makes fights intriguing, with fighters with interchangeability of styles. And Concepcion, we all know, pretty much he kind of goes to a straight line, and keeps the hands up, and he fights, and he likes to fight, and he presses forward, but the defense, as I mentioned, is suspect, and when your defense is suspect against a big puncher like Juan Manuel Lopez, somebody who could knock you out with any shot really, or can catch you and put you to sleep, that's trouble for any fighter. So me, I'm gonna say Juan Manuel Lopez will win this fight. I think he could win this fight by 11th round knockout. I think he could be the first man to knock out Concepcion. That's just what I think. I think he can knock him out. He knocked out Daniel Ponce de Leon, somebody who supposedly, and this is probably true, never been knocked down or knocked out in his career until he fought Lopez, despite the fact that this is a different Daniel Ponce de Leon than a few years ago. But I just think that Juan Manuel Lopez should win this fight by knockout. I'm a little rusty right now because I haven't done a prediction in a while, but I'm gonna go with Lopez by a knockout in the 11th round, maybe 12. But anyway, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.